We'll say that Talia is in the balcony, like
Well, I think we should
playing.
put Talia behind the balcony in case there's gunfire.
Okay.
We will have our Kara on the balcony with a sniper rifle.
Otto is in the
Nice.
kitchen, of course he is. Meridi is probably working on Arkara's swimsuit.
Oh,
Oh.
man.
This is going to be hilarious when we get there.
Trissy is and Trissy is I guess hanging out with the rest of you guys for the meeting. Um, I think while you guys you have some downtime in the Citadel, Trissy is actually wearing a slightly different outfit. This outfit that she's wearing is more of um, a teal blue
Ooh.
outfit. Just she says, I feel like I've been wearing the same thing over and over again. I thought it'd be a nice little change. The color blue sort of matches the jewelry of the wedding gown that you showed her, by the way, Sync.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that
Yeah.
was I don't know if that was necessarily intentional or subconscious, but I just thought I would point that detail out. Anyway, um, Liam has a seat and he's got the brandy. He swirls it around, gives it a sniff.
I checked for an implant in his head because I'm assuming there is one.
Yep, there is.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Elias, just to save time, you're going to go through the exact same thing. He's going to start with the exact same thing that the
Yep.
red Elias thought. It's going to almost be like a carbon copy. You
Yep.
could cut him off and be like, okay, we
No,
actually know
I'm,
this
I'm
part.
letting I'm
No.
letting him ramble.
Okay, you let him
I'm letting
ramble.
him say the
He does the
entire
exact
spiel.
same thing. He tells the entire spiel. You play stupid. He does
Mm-hmm.
the reveal. Blah blah. Then he ends it with, well, now that we've got all of that taken care of, the only reason why I'm here is I wanted to give you this. And he hands you a hollow. I call it hollow tape because I've been with Fallout 4 for so long. But it's basically a chip.
Nice. Nice.
It's a chip that contains data. This
Okay.
is from Rain, your Rain. She wanted me to pass this on to you.
Huh. Interesting. I take it and connect it to my Omni tool and play the contents in the heads-up display in my helmet. I have a sneaky suspicion I know what it is, but anyway.
The contents actually is a bunch of files. Liam says apparently she found these files as she was doing some digging in this universe, Diana's office. She thought that you might be interested in seeing it.
Have you?
Go ahead.
I was going to ask Liam, have you had a look at these yet?
I don't remember out of character if Rain specifically told him not to look at them or if she didn't care. I don't remember out of character, but if she asked him not to look at it, he would have honored that. If she said
Okay.
she doesn't care if he looks at them, so I don't know how to respond to that. I'll have to check.
Okay.
But
Okay.
anyway, I'll respond accordingly. But
Okay. I'll have a look. What's on them?
the files basically is actually logs of conversations. It actually could be it's basically logs of conversations that Diana has had with Green Rain. Green Diana having with Green Rain. Apparently they had a business proposition with each other to try to sabotage Green Elias in the
Okay.
Citadel's Got Talent. Something went wrong and the sabotage didn't quite work, and Elias ended up winning anyway, which caused a bit of tension between Diana and Rain, and Green Rain has been very bitter ever since. The other thing that you notice from Diana is that you see files on Cicepia and Octavius. Again, Green Cicepia and Green Octavius. Apparently, Green Cicepia and Green Octavius are very close with Diana. Diana is a bit of a collector. She likes collecting various things and specifically information. So what better way to complete your collection than to try to gather the archives of the Shadow Broker himself? She has hired Green Octavius and Green Cicepia to help aid her as her left hand, so to speak, to seek out and discover the identity of the Shadow Broker. Cicepia specifically got herself admitted into the CSEC office so she could use their network to try to help in their search for the identity of the Shadow Broker. And she was able to pull herself and promote herself up the ranks of the CSEC office accordingly.
Right. Is there any personal notes from Rain?
I don't think that there's anything personally from Rain other than she wanted Liam to hand this to you because she thought you might find the information interesting.
Okay. I'm just surprised there wasn't anything from her.
I don't think there was.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
I have a question on the character. Just out of curiosity, Hark.
Yep.
So when we first got the green, and they were all like, "Oh wait, aren't you on your honeymoon?" Was that was the honeymoon a ploy between the two of them, or was it like the actual honeymoon?
Don't know yet.
You don't know necessarily if it was a ploy or whatever, but
Okay.
yeah, those two definitely seem to have a very close business relationship with Diana.
Thank you for the intel. That's well, that certainly explains a bit.
Yes, he says, that's really all. I don't want to trouble you further than I already have. I thank you for the drink. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and dear God, please, please, get rid of President Timothy.
We'll do our best.
I know that you will succeed. He flashes you a smile and says, I'll talk to you later, Elias. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of each other. And he smiles as he leaves.
I won't mention the whole show thing still. Let's keep that up in the air. Actually, speaking of, is there any reaction to the video that we dropped on during the games? What's the news saying about that?
Oh yeah, I mean, people are glued. The ratings have increased dramatically. People have already started talking about all of the stuff that's been going on basically throughout your whole adventure, and they're all making speculations. Ooh, I wonder what's going to happen next. And
so it's already started playing, has it? I didn't know if it had launched yet.
I think so. Well, they probably have to do some editing, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I guess from your previous episodes, people are speculating, ooh, what's going to happen to the next? I mean, this is like the next best thing since Breaking Bad, basically. So
That's a long time.
Yeah, a long time ago.
How's the action figure range going?
Yes. The action figures, the merchandise has been selling like hotcakes. We'll say that you've gotten another 45 grand just from that and other things alone promoting this. So we'll add another 45 grand into your account.
Awesome. I like this. I am actually I'm going to share I'm going to first I'm going to send the files to Jamark.
Nice.
And with the whole information of, I suggest we leak this. Just nothing out, just to leak to the right places.
Elias, baby, I love your thinking. Oh, this is gonna be gold. See, I told you, baby. Stick with me, and we will be going places that will be beyond your wildest dreams of success.
That's the hope.
He says, everybody's watching, Elias. Keep up the good work.
Will do, thank you. And then I'm going to give Cicepia a copy of the information. Well, I'm going to relay the information I got from Rain's files to Cicepia and say, so, how did you want to take down the Green U?
I mean,
what is this? A corrupt Cicepia on CSEC? How dare she be corrupt? How dare she?
We had inklings of this already, so, you know.
If we happen to run into her, I mean, if she happens to be in our way.
Well, I was actually thinking we could contact Shai Lazim and see if she had any known associations with the Shadow Broker, and, you know.
We could check that out. See what can.
Yeah, actually, can we find a Shadow Broker agent? I'm sure we can. We must be able to. Shouldn't be that
I'm sure you
hard.
should be able to. I mean, Shias Lazim would definitely be the easiest person to
Yeah.
contact about that. But
It's just more a case of, do we think, is there anything that suggests that Shias in green is actually a, a Shadow Broker agent? Because we know she is in red, but we don't know about green.
right. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to do some digging.
Okay, I will do some digging, because given that Akara already has a connection with her in another universe, I feel much more comfortable going through her than someone else.
Yes, she does.
Awesome.
She does.
I'm assuming that I've tripped something in her systems while I do it, and I send her a message saying, I have some information for you.
Okay.
I put that
So you're
inside her systems because I'm
Nice.
pretty sure she'll have noticed that I'm doing it.
Nice. All right.
Beautiful.
We'll see what happens with that. All right.
Actually,
Okay.
I might just, if I can get in, I might actually just leave it in there with little notes to say who it's from.
Perfect. Okay. You drop the bomb on that. So we'll let that cook and see what Chris brings up. When you just finished doing that, the doorbell rings.
Okay. Who's there?
You look and you see a very handsome man in a
Aw.
uniform, in a Alliance uniform. And
Okay. I will open the door. Glad you could make it, Doc.
Hey, Elias, how's it going? Wow, the entire gang's here. The various people wave, and various people in the room wave. I didn't realize there was this big of a party.
This isn't well, it's just, just people. I wouldn't call it a party, it's just whoever's on the ship.
Say, Doctor, Murdy says, we're about to start up the hot tub. You should join us. Murdy says with a grin.
You absolutely should.
And she turns to a car and says, we're allowed to look.
Yeah. There's that.
He says he hands you a bottle of wine, and he says, "Here, Elias." He says, "I think this is a popular around. I've heard that this is a popular a popular bottle, popular vintage for Quarians."
Ooh, whoever gave you that information is definitely right. Do I want to know how much you've spent on this?
He says, "Nah, not at all."
Okay. Oh, I basically drag him over to the fireplace to show him the picture of, the Normandy crew, because I'm pretty sure he really wants to see that.
He said, "That is amazing. Oh, look at them all. Wow. He says, this whole place is surreal. I can't believe that I am actually standing where he and the rest of them stood."
Yeah. Although I admit that I feel a bit better than I was last time I was in here.
He's staring at the picture, and he's looking at the picture again, very carefully. And he says, "Huh." He says, "Without all of without the dirt and without the dirt and the battle suit, Clive's pretty cute."
Well, if you like humans. I nudge him with my shoulder.
He says, "There's nothing wrong with humans. We clean up well." He whispers to her, "Then again, we're also not afraid to get down and dirty either."
I am so glad I've got a helmet on right now. I actually muttered that to him.
Corbin will hang out with you guys for the rest of the evening. He's a really fun guy. He's very different from the other Corbin. The other Corbin is kind of more uptight and very much more like lawful, I guess more of a lawful kind of person. And I wouldn't say that Corbin is like Mr. Rebel, but he's more laid back. The hot tub, I mean, whoever wants to go into the hot tub party is welcome to. Meridi offers Arkara a very modest swimsuit that if she is willing to use for the hot tub, she's welcome to. But
Considering she can't say no to Meridi, yeah.
Yeah.
okay, it's like I said, it's not. It actually actually flatters your body very well. It's nothing like overly, it's not nothing overly. What's the word?
Revealing?
Revealing. Thank you. It's not overly revealing. It's just it's sensible yet chic, is the way I would call it.
Wouldn't expect anything less from Meridi.
Otto will also join into the hot tub as well, and he just kind of sighs. He's still talking to himself about various restaurant things. Trissy will also emerge, and she's going to be in a very very beautiful two-piece green bathing suit. Very, very nice bathing suit. She asks Al, "You gonna join us, Al?"
You say, well, my mechanical parts can go in water. I don't think the heat would be good for me, so I think
Oh, that's too bad.
I mean, I'll sit next to the hot tub, but I don't think I should go in.
You should hang out, yeah. She'll get in and she will sigh. Is Sepia also going to be there too?
I guess if the whole gang's there, she'll be there too. Probably not into the water. I don't think Turians don't do well with water.
Talia will probably ask if she could do the hot tub. I think technically children of a certain age are not supposed to be placed in a hot
Not
tub.
for a long time at the very least, because it's dehydrating.
Yeah.
And the smaller you are...
Yeah. She'll ask Sepia, and it's up to Sepia if she will allow her to.
Nah.
You could probably allow her in for about, half an hour at the most. She just couldn't stay in there.
Yeah, she couldn't stay in there for very long. She joins the cats of the galaxy.
They are. I was looking at the thing. It's like, I guess Garrus actually says it's like someone actually there's a Garrus quote. It's like there's let's see, a lot of flailing and splashing interrupted by occasional bouts of drowning.
I think the tip is whether if she's tall enough to stand at the bottom and have her head out of the water, then she could be allowed in.
I think
And
I
suggesting-
could be there holding her just in case too.
And
Yeah,
they're
I think she
suggesting, I think the current safety protocol I just googled are saying no more than 5 minutes at a time.
At a time.
At
Okay.
a time.
She'll if you allow her to, she'll go in and she'll
if she's going in, then I'm gonna go in with her, kind of be there.
Okay.
So,
She'll go in, and as soon as she starts to dip her feet into it, she goes, hot. She'll probably lean down into it, and when it gets up to her hips, she says, "Okay, I'm done. It's
You're done?
so hot."
Okay.
Yeah, she probably can't do it. It's just way too hot
If
for
we're
her.
actually doing the hot tub thing, Elias might decide to surprise everyone and actually show up without a suit. As in without the Enviro
Well,
suit. Because he can. So yes, no Enviro suit. There will be shorts.
Elias comes in, Enviro suit, and as soon as you do, Meridi goes, snap, with her phone, snap.
oh, God.
She says, "So, Elias," she says, "how much is this photo worth to you?" She says with a
Absolutely
grin.
nothing, pretty. It's not like anyone's going to believe that's actually me.
She says, "Oh, I don't know. People can be convinced very easily on the internet."
Yes, but it's not actually worth anything unless it's actually confirmed. Say with a grin.
Says you. She says, I can be very convincing. Don't you worry.
Yeah, that's kind of You signed a contract not to do that, though. I say with a grin.
The whole fine print.
Oh man.
You did read the fine print, right?
Prepared for every contingency.
Corbin emerges in a Speedo.
Of course he's in a Speedo.
Of course he's in a Speedo. He would be in a Speedo.
I think I distinctly remember Speedos.
He says, Elias.
What?
He says, nothing. I just wasn't expecting you to actually, take a dip in with us.
Well, I don't know when I'll next get the opportunity to ever do this, so why not?
He turns towards Meridy. Meridy, we'll talk about getting a copy of that photo to me at some point. And Meridy says, fine by me.
Don't you already have enough photos?
When you say that, that actually takes Corbin a little bit off his composure a little bit, and then he regains it again and doesn't respond, but takes it to the hospital.
It was worth it just for that.
You guys have another fun evening, just relaxing before the reality collider again is reset, so you can jump again. You have a wonderful night. I'm sure that everybody will retire in separate rooms. Corbin will be retiring with Elias, I'm assuming.
I'm not taking him out of bed.
Will be retiring with Al, I'm assuming. And then Sesepia will be with
Talia.
Arkara will probably be by herself, and Ada will probably be next door. In the apartment next door. And Meridy will... I think Meridy and Arkara will share a room. They'll share a room. Slumber party style.
Not at all awkward.
Well, I mean, to break the ice, Meridy is going to say, I didn't realize that doctor was,
Yeah.
He and Elias seem to be very close.
Yeah, I would think so.
I can pick up on these things.
Of
Well,
course you
she would know that we were roomies before everything happened. I'm assuming that's fairly consistent throughout the entire galaxy.
That is fairly consistent. So how are you feeling, dear? She asks.
Like the moment before the storm, I suppose.
We're nearing that. Look, hun, she says, we're still best friends, right? That
Yeah, of course.
isn't changing, right?
Of course.
Good. I never wanted to hurt you.
I know
And
that.
if I did, it wasn't on purpose.
I know, it's just hard to acclimatize to it, I guess. I'll be fine. Don't worry.
I just don't want anything to change. I miss you, and I don't want anything to change between us.
Yeah. Me neither, really. I do care for you.
And I do. I always will.
I'm glad to hear that.
All right, come here. And she goes over to give you a big hug.
I'll hug her back.
You'll hug her back. Okay. The next morning comes, and you guys will be back on the ship. And this time, for the first time, I think you guys are jumping to yellow, if I understand correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what I told the Bravo squad is that they get to start with the main squad's end game, which is interesting. So you guys are now in the end game.
Yeah. I am assuming that we're not going to be able to bring Corbin with us because we might need a spare doctor.
He probably will not be able to
get away. I think so.
I don't think he can get away. I think he was able to get away just this
for the evening. Yep. Cool.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to take him with you, unfortunately.
Do not die.
I could tell you the same thing, he says. He'll before he leaves, he'll give you a kiss on your helmet before he leaves.
On the helmet, stuff that. There's no helmet.
Well, you might have your helmet. I mean, when he's leaving.
Okay, fair enough.
When he's leaving, you might already have. I'm sure that there was other kissing before that too. On his way out. I'm saying on his way out when you both are fully dressed. So, you guys make your jump to Yellow. I'm assuming you're just gonna take the gate from the Citadel and immediately go to Yellow Citadel.
I'd almost suggest not going to the Citadel because...
Okay, so where are you going?
Do we want to look at the Alchera relay? Because I would really rather not go through the Citadel one, if at all possible, just because that's landing us straight in the middle of the Elusive Man's lap.
Trissy will say, that's all. Just keep in mind, though, that the Resistance is at the Citadel.
Has Trissy filled us in about her time on the Citadel? I'm assuming I would have asked at some point.
Yeah, she will. Trissy will tell you about the Resistance. She'll tell you about Tibbs, and she is basically saying it's fine if you guys don't jump directly to the Citadel, but if you want to try to meet up with Rain, I think they're all going to be contacting Tibbs and meeting up with Tibbs over at the Resistance base, and I know where Tibbs' base is, where it's hidden.
Actually, question: do we take the ship?
That's a good question.
Because we could literally just walk out to the Sunset Strip or Silver Sun Strip and just walk straight through. We don't need to take our ship.
That is true.
That is true.
I like the ship and I'd want to come back to the ship, but we could easily just walk through and walk straight out onto the Citadel, and then if we need the ship, come back, assuming we can hide out for at least a day. It just seems...
It would be more inconspicuous, I guess.
Yeah. For a recon scouting thing, I don't know. It seems that could be safer. Also,
yeah, plus we can keep certain people safe here.
Safe. Mm-hmm. I do also want to ask Trissy about the fact that she almost thought people were being indoctrinated into calm and happiness while she was on the Citadel.
Yeah, she says that seems to be happening.
So, and the Resistance is on the Citadel.
Yeah, but I'd like to think that they've taken that in consideration. Tibbs is pretty smart, and Charles is before him was, he was overly cautious. Let me just put it that way.
Okay, I hope so. I don't like the idea of the cornerstone of Rain's plan being in the pocket of the Elusive Man.
I don't think she had much of a choice.
I know, but if that's her cornerstone, then she might need a better plan. Anyway. So,
will any of the non-human members on our team have to worry when getting into the Yellow? Talking to Trissy.
As long as they, don't cause a ruckus.
Actually, Murdy, I might need your help modifying my environmental filters.
What do you need, dear?
I need to make sure that the filters that I'm using on my suit to breathe will stop any DNA particles going out the other way. Apparently, I'm persona non... What? I don't know the phrase in human. I believe I don't exist in Yellow at this point. It would be nice not to have any nosy C6 scanners picking me up.
I think we can make do with. I think I can come up with something. Shouldn't take me that long.
Okay, that should take care of me. I'll just make sure that my suit seals work really, really well.
Trissy says the Citadel is one of the most diverse places in the galaxy, from what I understand. So if you're going to be safe anywhere, if you're non-human, it's going to be there. Mm-hmm. But again, as long as you, I guess, pretend that you drank the Kool-Aid, so to speak. Trissy says.
Mm-hmm. All right then.
One day I'll actually have to try Kool-Aid.
Maybe not in yellow. At least not
Fair
right
point.
now. So, I guess if that's the plan, then who's going to stay on the ship and who's going to come with?
Talia should stay on the ship.
Definitely. Who's gonna stay with her?
Aww.
Do you think if we need everyone on the ship, do you think Corbin would be okay looking after her, or should we have someone from our
go back to work, so we don't have Corbin?
So I guess either between Otto or
It's Otto or Marty. I'd almost be tempted to put Otto on the ship just because of his speech.
Yeah.
He's more immediately noticeable as being different.
That, and I think he's better at taking care of Talia.
Understood, Otto says.
And frankly, Marty's a quick thinker.
Yeah.
We might need some of that.
Yeah.
And Marty turns towards Sink and says, "You hear that, hubby?" She says, giving you a pat on the back. Trissy kinds of plays along. Yeah, you ready? She says as she takes your other arm.
I was saying, remember, we're trying to not be so noticeable, so keep that in mind.
That's a problem for me. That's gonna be a problem for me, Meridy says.
You'll do fine.
Okay, so shall we leave the ship here and go on a scouting mission, and then we can always jump back properly once we know what we're getting in for?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I still think we might be stuffing up leaving the ship behind, but in character, that's what Elias would suggest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm bringing the drone.
All right.
The tiny one.
So you guys will leave
before-
the ship.
Before we leave, I'll just go up to Otto, give him a peck on the cheek, and say, "Take good care of her."
Otto will nod with my life.
And I'll also leave Maximilian's sword there too, because it'd probably be too obvious. It'd be probably draw too much attention if I was carrying around
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be bringing the silver daggers, but that's okay.
Okay. So you guys will keep the ship docked. You keep the Endurance docked, and you guys will make your way to the arena because that's where the gate is. So you guys can make your jump. So it'll be the four of you and Trissy and Meridy. Okay. And then Talia and Otto will be back at the ship. Okay. This is interesting. I didn't expect this. This is interesting. Okay, I can work with this. So, this actually might be better. So, you guys go to the arena, and you bring out Mimic, just like always.
Mm-hmm.
We also try to find a place that isn't right in the middle of the audience, so that if we do arrive, we're not arriving in the middle of a show.
Exactly. Exactly. Arkara, just so you know, or actually, this has to be through Elias. If you were to observe Mimic prior to this, you would notice that Mimic has been hovering. I mean, Mimic likes to hover around Arkara's seeds, and you find out why. You've already found out why. He particularly seems to be hovering over a particular set of seeds, which are the seeds that Arkara specifically picked up while she was on Thetis. Out of character, Arkara, if you ever asked what type of seeds these were, the people of Thetis would have told you that you picked up seeds for elf fruit.
Yeah.
And
anyway,
actually, we know what elf fruit does because I copied out the entire library of pharmacology.
You do.
Yep.
You do.
So we can now make healing potions potentially, although I wouldn't really know how that they worked. I just have the formula. I will actually mention that to Arkara.
Interesting.
Well, we know it's a spirit of devotion, so makes sense. Spirit of devotion. I can't believe I actually said that like it was a real thing.
Well, obviously it is.
You guys make your jump.
Depends on how badly we mess with the plot, huh?
You gave me a little bit of a curveball, but we'll see what happens.
Shouldn't be that much of a curveball, right?
Nah, we'll see. It just means I have to do something else. So, you guys arrive, and the just to describe the yellow galaxy to you, it's a lot more. It's sleeker. It's cleaner. Almost like too clean. You know what I'm saying?
So
like the place looks very perfect, but
something's wrong.
I'm sorry.
It's perfect.
It's too perfect.
Yeah.
It's too perfect.
It's a Stepford.
So in other words,
yes.
we've landed in Singapore basically.
Oh, I have family in Singapore.
Do you know what I mean? Though
Singapore.
it's so clean, but it's so clean compared to the rest of Asia. You just sit there going, "This can't be right."
Yes.
I've got family in Singapore too. That's why.
Gotcha. And the big noticeable difference is all of the propaganda that's that's everywhere in the Citadel. Basically, pro Cerberus, pro Timothy, President Timothy.
Can we get a picture
Rebel
of
scum.
Timothy, please? I'm looking for a picture of Timothy.
It's the elusive man. It's the elusive man.
As in the original elusive man, or one of his new clones?
As in the original elusive man. But it just seems like everyone around here seems to be happy, but it's almost like a forced happiness. The way that Trissy was explaining it, and she actually makes a comment about this while you guys are wandering around, and says, I didn't really notice it before, but the more that I come back to this place, the creepier it feels.
Huck, is there any indication that that Cerberus is beaming out that little Reaper control signal that they researched on Sanctuary?
Do you want to check?
Yes, I do want to check. Hell yes, I want to check.
Then, oh hell yes, they are doing it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes, they are doing it. Oh yes, absolutely.
I upload a very small blocking device onto everyone's Omni tools. It shouldn't be noticeable to anyone scanning for it, but we should now be completely immune to its effects.
That's a very good idea. Also, while you're wandering around, Murdy will make a comment and says, "It is pretty creepy around here, but I have to admit the fashion here is a bit of a step up." She says, "So, translate that how you will. Interpret that how you will, I guess."
The elusive man likes looking at pretty people.
I'm sorry. What did you say? What did you say, Matthew?
The man likes looking at pretty people. I mutter.
Maybe. I'll take note. I'll take visual note, she says as she's walking around. While you guys are you guys have just left the arena. It's a good call because there actually was a show that was going on, not an Elias or Rain show, just like some sort of
I'm pretty sure Elias disappeared in yellow from what Rain was telling me.
It's some sort of a musical performance. But this musical performance is basically Mass Effect the musical, but with President Timothy being the hero.
So it's Cerberus the musical.
It's Cerberus the musical. So yeah, imagine that. All the viewers just take some time now to picture that. What Cerberus the musical would be like. And it's probably worse than you think.
Cheerleaders and everything.
Well, you know what I'm actually thinking, Anna. I'm thinking Wizomania from Wicked.
Oh yeah.
Who's major? How generous? Thinking all as merry.
I'm thinking that a cross between that and Springtime for Hitler.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
is
yeah.
a cross between those two.
Yes.
That and Springtime for Hitler.
Yeah.
So yeah, Meridi
is and conquer France.
Meridi is watching one of the scenes. There's like this big dance number, and she's like, you know what? I hate to admit this, but it's something about this. It's like a train wreck. You don't want to watch, but you kind of can't stop looking.
I think I'm gonna end up getting arrested here. I'm gonna end up punching someone in the face.
Down, girl.
She's like, whoever engineered those Reapers over there, though, that's very impressive, I have to admit. She's like looking at, like pointing at the engineered like set pieces that look like giant Reapers.
Are they actually set pieces or are they actually Reapers?
Are you gonna check?
Yes, I am. Because we know that the elusive man controls the Reapers.
Yes, these are actual Reapers, and if you look at a playbill, it shows them like as members of the cast, Reaper cast members.
Ready?
Reaper number 1, Reaper number 2.
Oh, I forget that they come in different sizes. Huh.
Does that mean we should get out of here? Or...
No wonder they're so convincing.
Yeah.
Wait until they start firing.
That particular Reaper over there has a really good vocal range, though. And she's saying that there's like this sirenly screech that the Reaper makes at the end of the number, at the very end of the number. Okay, I think I'm done. I think we can leave now, Rudy says.
Let's get out of here.
You guys leave quickly. Trissy grabs a hold of Alabon's hand because this whole place is really unsettling right now. And while you guys are wandering around, you walk by what appears to be some sort of I guess think of it as a rest stop. So if you were driving on the highway, you know how like they have the rest stops that have places for people to go to the bathroom and get a bite to eat or whatever. Well, there's this where's this like I guess whatever the version of a bus is in Mass Effect, and there's a bunch of
it's a sky bus.
It's a sky bus. There are several people in Cerberus uniforms with helmets, like full helmets. You can't see their faces, and this bus seems to be surrounded by a bunch of little children, little kids, and you guys are just passing by when all of a sudden you hear someone call out, "Mommy, Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy," and you guys turn towards that direction, and there's this little kid dressed in a gray hoodie that comes running up towards your direction. And she seems to be looking directly at your group. And
whoops.
I very quickly do a search to see what's going on with Alabon Finston and Beatrice. I don't know her last name off the top of my head.
All right, you'll quickly do that. It'll take some time. A lot of this is happening very quickly.
This will happen before I can get search results, but at the same time, I'm sort of sitting there going, it's going to be them, because there's no other same race couple in our group.
Yep.
Although it could be Meridi, but I'm defaulting to Sync and Beatrice.
If you look at Roll20, you'll see what the child looks like. I think out of character, you guys will know what this child looks like. And the child is running up towards you, and Trissy looks at the child right in the eyes as he's trying to run up to her, and she kind of freezes, and her hand sort of like grips onto Sync's hand at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The kid is trying to break away from the group, but one of the guards runs up to him and pulls him back. The kid is trying desperately to reach out towards your direction, and the guards is again taking him back to the group forcibly. The kid, it's causing a little bit of a ruckus. Some people are starting to notice, but they're awkwardly trying to ignore what's happening. And the kid gets dragged behind the bus, and he keeps yelling out. He says, "Mommy, Daddy! Mommy, Daddy!" And when he takes him around the bus, you hear this big smack smack behind the bus, and the kid stops yelling. At this point, before we even realize what's happening, Trissy is no longer standing next to Al, and she's bolted. She's like running towards the direction of the bus. The guard is dragging the kid again. The kid is no longer yelling out loud, but he's got tears streaming down his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And before the guard even know what's happening, Trissy has jumped on his back, and basically trying to pull him to the ground. The guard starts to struggle with Trissy, but she won't let go. I'll give you guys a chance to react now.
Yeah, well, I think when I noticed that Trissy's run after the kid, I would follow suit too to see what's going on.
I'll run in as well to help.
By the time you reach Trissy, Al, the guard.
I can try to pull her back towards us. I can do a pull.
By the time, pull who back towards you?
Trissy.
You're pulling Trissy back towards?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened? So you you're going to be casting your pull. Roll your pull, please, Biotics.
Well done.
Oh yeah. Okay. I had to. I always forget what it is. -R space 1d6. All right, so 22.
22. Okay. By the time you release your pull, biotic pull, the guard has managed to pull Trissy off of him, and Trissy gets thrown down to the ground. The guard starts to pull out what looks like a nightstick, I guess, and is about to strike at Trissy, and she's defiantly doesn't even flinch when he's about to do it. She's defiantly staring him down, almost like she's about to claw at his eyes next. But your pull pulls her out of the way just before the nightstick makes contact of her head, which is where he was aiming. And by this point, Alabon has caught up to that scene. And what happens?
Ooh, man.
The kids, by the way, have started filing onto the bus. The kids look very upset and scared, but they don't do anything because they're too scared to do anything. And it's weird. All of the other people around you, they seem to notice it, but then they turn the other way and act like nothing's happening. Acting like none of this is happening.
It's not weird at all. Incidentally, I sit down on the nearest bench I can find, so it looks like I'm not. I sit down on the nearest bench I can find.
Okay. What happens next? Arkara and I think Al have reached the guard and the child, and Trissy is now on the ground but pulled away by Sisepia.
All right,
I get in between them.
The guard says, looks at the woman and says, "I can have you arrested for that assault." The kid is crying, and the guard tightens his grip on the kid's arm as he's crying, and he's looking towards right into your eyes, Sink.
After he says assault or whatever, Sink's gonna pipe up and say, "And what did you call what you just did? Let that kid go, now."
He says, "It's called discipline." He says, "These kids need to learn it quickly."
What kind of show are you running here? And then I'm gonna walk closer to the guard. I'll walk around the car and try to get to the kid. Sink's so thick-bricked, he's not putting two and two together.
Yeah.
With the kid who's lots of daddy and all that. But
Hark, is there a logo
Yes,
on the bus?
Yes, there is.
I'm
You
gonna
can
run
look
a
up the
search.
logo.
I'm running a search for the logo.
Okay, let me answer your previous questions. So your first search was about
Sink and Beatrice, yes, and Beatrice, I guess Finston now, since I'm assuming they'd be married.
Alabon Finston, married to Beatrice Finston. They had one child, Lucas Finston. Trissy Finston died of a sickness. Alabon Finston, whereabouts unknown. He disappeared. Whereabouts unknown. The child was admitted into an orphanage, run by Cerberus, of course. And that's all that you can find on record. The logo is a logo of a Cerberus training facility. Think of it as a Cerberus finishing school. Kids are basically sent there, and essentially they are trained to become hardened soldiers, Cerberus soldiers. You find reports, that not publicly, but private reports that seem to imply that the kids are taken there at a very young age and they're conditioned to pretty much be heartless killers.
How old does Lucas appear to be?
He is probably around maybe seven-ish of age.
Cool.
Possibly around 6 or 7 years of age.
Okay, good.
Which is around the time that they actually start training the kids, conditioning the kids.
Okay. Sink, that's your kid. Well, not your kid, but, analog.
What? Are you serious? Are you sure?
Do you want me to do DNA tests? Because I need a sample for that.
But
While you're you finish your conversation.
I'm just muttering this very quietly into Sink's ear through our comm system. Don't speak too loudly, given that you're right by Mr. Nice Guard from orphanage. Well, not orphanage. Probably more like a boot camp training school for Cerberus soldiers.
The Trissy has finally gotten up, and she hasn't broken eye contact with the guard, and she says to him with a very firm, angry voice, she says, "You are not to strike that child or any child again," she says very venomously at the guard. And the guard begins to pull out his Omni tool. It looks like he's about to call for backup.
While he's doing this, I want to neuroshock him.
Neuroshock? Okay.
I was going to sabotage the Omni tool, but go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's see. Technical.
I was gonna say I was gonna cryoblast him, but
you can do both. You guys can go do both.
Would be the first instinct.
Go right ahead. Both of you do it.
And you guys would be able to work before I would, because I wouldn't see it.
26.
I'm not that close.
Nice.
And he has to roll an opposed strength, and every 5 I'll get above him, it's an extra round that he's stunned. If that matters.
I got a 20.
Hark, while they're doing that, I'm going to try to hack into the security cameras.
Neuroshock for a while.
If someone needs to.
The guard first gets neuroshocked. He starts to spaz out, and he ends up being completely paralyzed, followed by a cryoshock, which freezes him in place. He falls over on his side. As soon as that happens, the child looks very shocked himself, and Trissy runs over to him, and when he notices Trissy running over to him, he runs over to her, and she wraps her arms around her and says, Mommy, I thought you were dead. They told me you were dead." And Trissy is starting to cool down a little bit, but she's stroking the child on his head, and she has her face goes from anger to a bit of shock as to what has just happened. And she looks towards Sink, immediately. She looks right at Sink immediately when this is happening, while she's trying to comfort the child in her arms.
Okay, as she looks towards me, I'm gonna do 2 things. I'm gonna walk towards her, and while I'm walking, I'm gonna send a message to Elias, who just told me that was my kid, and ask him for his name, because I feel like if I asked him his name, it would just kind of make him feel that I didn't care about him. So
his name is Lucas. He should be about. I'm going to check the date so I can get his exact date of birth. Day of birth, rather. He should be 6 right now.
Yeah, he's 6. He's about to turn 7 in probably a few days.
Okay.
A week. We'll say a week. He's about to turn 7.
His birthday's next week. I'm spending a Paragon point so that I don't fumble that attempt to get into the security camera system. System.
Probably a good idea.
So at least, and I'm going to say, guys, we might want to get out of here right now.
Agreed. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So what does Sync say?
So he's gonna walk over to Tristy and Lucas, and he'll kind of get on one knee and I guess give him a hug. Lucas a hug.
With tears still streaming down, Lucas wraps his little arms around you and says, "Daddy, please don't leave again. Please don't leave again."
It's okay, little buddy. We have to go really quick. It's not much time, okay? And I'll try to pick him up.
You pick him up, and Trissy looks at you and immediately says, "Al, what about the other kids?"
We'll have to figure out how to get them free, but right now we just, you saw what happened. We've got to get out of here before more attention is drawn to us.
She nods, and she looks towards Arkara.
Lead the way.
Good idea.
I'll have our back.
Okay.